Welcome back to another video, guys. We are back. Like I said in the last video, I had a little bit of a sore throat, so I had to take a day off of these recordings, but we're still on pace to finish before the NBA season tips off. So that's a great look. That's what I'm shooting for. And that's still the goal. Should be finishing maybe that Sunday before the season tips off. So that would be great. Gives us a couple days before the season starts and everything. But without further ado, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves up today, and this franchise as a whole is interesting to look at. They just fired their general manager this offseason, and it seemed to be a surprise to some players, notably Karl-Anthony Towns, who went on Twitter and posted WTF afterwards. And if you ask me, that's just not a good look for a franchise. You're firing your general manager, and your star player doesn't even know about it until the news breaks. So the communication's got to be better between these teams, or between the office and the players, and you really just got to make sure you have that, or you're going to have players like Towns and eventually Anthony Edwards and Deangelo Russell, where you've got these all-star potential players that are probably going to want out if that communication is not there. So they gotta get that together, got to figure that out. It'll be interesting to see who they bring in as general manager. May not be a name we know, could be, we don't know, but that'll be something interesting to follow along with. See if they communicate with Towns and Anthony Edwards, and see if these guys like who they're trying to bring in or not. So like I said, that'll be something to keep an eye on. You got Karl-Anthony Towns on this roster. He's been the best player on this roster for years, and I'm honestly kind of surprised he hasn't gotten out of there yet, just because this franchise has been pretty much a dumpster fire for the past few years. But Towns is a guy that I would consider a top 5 center in the league. He's got the skill. He just really hasn't been able to bring that winning culture to the franchise. They haven't done a great job of putting a team around them, but he also really hasn't lifted the team up like that. He's kind of gone out there and done his thing and gotten out of there is what it feels like with me. I know he had his struggles with family members and everything passing away with COVID, and prayers up to him and his family still. That's just never easy. That's not something you recover from quickly. So prayers up to the Towns family. But really want to see Karl come out here this year and be able to dominate alongside Anthony Edwards, and really come out here and show them that he is the man still. Anthony Edwards is that guy that's coming up on his heels. Second year player now out of UGA. Let's go. But Anthony Edwards is an absolute dog. They said he grew about 2 inches this offseason. We know he's got crazy bounce already. If you don't know that, go watch his poster dunk against the Raptors from last year. The dude is insane and is ready to dunk on anybody. But he's also just an absolute dog. He does not want to be on a bad team. He does not want to be a bad player. He's going to continue to progress and put the work in that he needs to. And then another guy you got on this roster is Deangelo Russell, former All-Star. Really, health has been an issue for him, and we want to see him stay healthy and be able to see what this big three can do between Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, and Deangelo Russell. Because if you ask me, that sounds like a solid big three. I'm not sure if I'd put them like top 5 or anything crazy like that, but you put those dudes together, and they should definitely be able to win some games. So we'll see what happens there with that trio. Hopefully everyone stays healthy, everyone stays consistent, and hopefully they learn to work together in a good dynamic. Then another guy you got on this roster that they brought in this offseason is Patrick Beverley, and I think he's going to be that guy that really brings in that winning culture to this team. We know Patrick Beverley's got a mouth on him. He's going to let you hear about it. Whatever it is, he's going to let you hear about it. So I think he's gonna be a guy that comes in here and kind of brings that dynamic that Jimmy Butler did when he was on the Timberwolves. So we could see Beverley out pretty early, depending on how players get along with him, or we could see them actually get pushed by Beverley and really be able to take that step and become that winning team that they should be with that big three that I mentioned earlier. And then another dude you got on this roster that I personally really love is Naz Reid. Undersized center, but we saw him work last year. I loved him coming out of LSU, wanted the Celtics to take him, but pretty much what I've gotten used to is if I want a player taken by the Celtics, it's not going to happen. Timberwolves ended up with Naz Reid, and he's another guy that kind of plays like I feel like Montrezl Harrell is a good comparison for him and what he could be and what he could develop past. But we saw Harrell win Sixth Man of the Year 2 seasons ago, I think, with the Lakers, and Naz Reid has that undersized center build still. He's about 6'9" as well as Harrell. But Naz Reid's a big dude. He's 264, sitting at 6'9", so he's the biggest dude on this roster looking at it. Even Karl-Anthony Towns, 6'11", 7 foot in that area. Naz Reid still has almost 20 pounds on him. So Reid's a big dude. He knows how to play ball. He knows how to get dirty down in the post, and he's going to do that. So like I said, Naz Reid could kind of have that Harrell potential. He could be maybe a sleeper for Sixth Man of the Year because he will be coming off the bench behind Karl-Anthony Towns, I assume, unless they want to start him at power forward. We'll see what happens there. But the depth chart currently has Jaden McDaniels starting at power forward. So we'll talk about him as well. He is a long dude. He is a skinny dude, but he's kind of the complete opposite build of Naz Reid. McDaniels is also 6'9", but he's 185. So to put that in perspective, I'm 6 foot 200. So like I've got 15 pounds on this dude, and I'm almost a whole foot shorter, which is crazy to think about. But McDaniels is an athlete. Don't let the length or the skinniness fool you. He's got crazy length, and that's really part of his game. He's super long arms, super long legs. He's athletic. He can move around because he's so light. But I think it would be beneficial for him to put on just a little bit of weight, be able to really develop into his body and everything. But McDaniels is a dude that does have some good potential, some good, I'm not going to say star potential, but I would say I guess role player potential. But when I think role players, I think players coming off the bench. And I don't see that being McDaniels, especially if they already have him projected in the starting lineup. But he's a dude that can go out there. He's going to block some shots. He can shoot the ball decently, and he can get to the basket just because he's so long. He can just put it up over somebody. So McDaniels is a guy to keep an eye on and see how his development goes this offseason, and well, I guess into the preseason now and then throughout the season. And then one more guy, or two more guys I want to talk about is Jalen Noel, which is the guard, and Malik Beasley, who's also another guard on this team. These are two dudes that both have some great potential as well, playing alongside the big three that we got here. Noel will definitely be off the bench, but he was putting up around close to 10 a game last year, I think, and he's only 21 years old, I think, 22, somewhere around there. So he's got some good potential. Let him keep developing, and Malik Beasley should be in the starting lineup this year alongside Deangelo Russell in the backcourt. But he's one of those guys that can go out there and score the ball lights out when he wants to. So seeing that consistency from him would be nice, just so they have that other scorer that they can go to. And who knows, I could potentially see Beasley maybe becoming a bench option and becoming a six-man guy, so he can be that microwave scorer off the bench like a Lou will. But I think he's just too talented to put on the bench. So he should, like I said, he should be in that backcourt next to Deangelo Russell to start the season. And we'll see how he develops as well, see how he continues to play, because he is a solid player and he is a very, very good scorer. And the last guy I want to talk about on this roster that I feel like makes a real difference is Josh Kogi. He's one dude that, coming out of Georgia Tech, I loved him as well. He's just one of those gritty defensive guys. He can score a little bit, but he's really, really good on defense. So he can really be another defensive stopper off the bench with Patrick Beverly. So we'll see how he plays this season and see how things continue to go for this young squad. This really is a young squad. The only older players you have on this team really are Patrick Beverly and Patrick Beverly. That's about it. So we'll continue to see how it goes, see how they develop, and see if this front office can really get their stuff together and start communicating with the players and figure out the direction that they really want to go, figure out if this is a winning team or if they need to blow this up and just build around Anthony Edwards. So that's what I got for the Timberwolves. Season predictions for this team, I really don't see them going higher than maybe a 10th or 11th seed. Definitely, well, I guess I can't say 10th because that is play-in tournament. So I don't see them making the play-in tournament this year. So I guess 11 or 12 seed. This should be around maybe a 25 to 30 win team. And like I said, missed the play-in. They shouldn't be there just because the West is so deep. And I can't put everyone in as a play-in team. Can't put everyone in as a playoff team. So Timberwolves are one of the teams that I have missing once again. But we'll see how it goes. Like I said, they do have the potential to be a very good roster. So this will be a team to keep an eye on. They could be a sleeper for that play-in. But we'll see how the season goes for this squad. We will catch you on the next video. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like, comment your thoughts on the team, and subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace out.